welcome Jessica Williams and Naomi Ekperigan.
Guest host Naomi Ekperigan.
Thank you so much.
We are live at Werk It Fest in my hometown, Los Angeles. This is amazing.
This is amazing. This is, wow. I feel lifted up.
Yeah.
I feel lifted up. I feel born anew.
You know? This is like, as you would say, a very multi-culti audience, I feel like.
Well, I expect nothing less. You know, I'm here for a hair story. It's why I'm wearing a jumpsuit.
This looks amazing. Tell me, like, it's not normally in your wardrobe. What's the story?
No,
What's your fashion story?
Okay, Naomi. I said, I've got to channel the raw sexual power of Phoebe Robinson. That's what I said. I did. I told myself what would capture that power, you know, but also allow me to eat a taco later, you know. So it was a two-part process.
Oh, I love it.
You know?
Yeah, Phoebe's outfits are really amazing. She's not afraid to ever work it.
Right.
So I appreciate your bravery. For me, like, stepping out for me is like, there's a little bit of trim here in between my shirt and my skirt.
Oh, I feel the energy.
And I'm like, this is sexuality for me. Like, this is as far as I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
my dad and my mom are right there. So I was like,
Dad and Mom.
Yeah. Gonna play it cool, talking about sexuality in front of Dad. And they're ministers.
Woo!
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you are from New York, born and raised.
Yes,
and
born
I am
and
from
raised.
here, born and raised. And right now, I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn.
Right.
And now you're living here.
Well,
I see like you've changed a little bit. Like I see you have these whimsical ass Zooey Deschanel bangs.
You know, thank you.
You look like a New Girl guest star who's like dating the black roommate. Like I'm dating Lamore.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving casting some ideas. You know, I feel like I'm in LA. I had to go for whimsy. You know, because my natural way is weary. Okay, my natural vibe is like I just say stuff like I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I mean it. And I feel like you can't do that in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Everyone in Los Angeles is like, let's go hiking. You know what I mean?
Everyone in Los Angeles is like the opening scene of like a musical on Broadway.
Truly, they're all Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Totally, yeah.
You know, good morning, and it's a lot. And I said, how do I manufacture that? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
Were you like nervous?
Oh yes, especially because I did it myself.
Okay, no fucking way. You trimmed your own bangs?
Oh, you know what you do? What happens is you're sitting at home, you're bored watching a program. And then you go in the bathroom and then you just pull some hair forward. And I like, boom. And then after that, it's like a 3 or 4 day process. Do you know what I mean? Of like slowly creating an even line.
Yeah. Because I feel like whenever I get my hair cut by somebody else, or whenever I get a trim, it's like they do like a technique where they're like snipping vertically.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When I grew up here in middle school, I went through like an emo phase. Did you guys have emo music when you were in New York City?
Yeah, New York had emo music.
I don't know.
Still America.
I don't know what you guys had, but we had like a very big, like really big, like, is everybody okay? What's happening? We had a really big emo phase.
Like, what were you listening to? What were your jams?
We were listening, there was like a lot of like Fall Out Boy, I got into like Hoobastank. I was very like light emo.
Wow.
Do you know Hoobastank at all?
I've heard the name, but avoided the music.
Don't feel bad. That's smart.
Okay.
But it was like a lot of that. It's like a lot of Simple Plan. Like everybody was like, sorry. Like that was sort of the cadence.
Yeah,
It's very like, sorry, Dad.
And it was like, was it like a lot of like, all the boys had like angled bangs?
Yes, everything was angled, everything was frosted. The guys had like these things called soap shoes or like grindy shoes. They were these skater shoes where there was like a plastic sort of arch in it where guys could like run up on a rail and then put their feet on it and like slide across and then jump down. And then turn their backwards hat towards you and be like, what's up?
See, like that's what I think of when I think of California. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly it. Like I feel like it's like I'm in San Diego, California. That energy.
That's true.
Wow,
that was
San
like
Diego.
unfortunately that was also like very early sexuality for me. Like I ended up going to like a very white school.
Same.
And so for me in like elementary and middle school, I was trying to understand what was going on and what I was attracted to. And I knew that it was like Daniel Radcliffe. And then I knew it was like Gordo from Lizzie McGuire. And then I had just all these jabrones like soaping around and skating around and grinding around.
That's so confusing. You know, that is like a lot. Well, except when you say Daniel Radcliffe, it reminds me of that time I got to see his member. Because...
I hate the way you said it. I hate the way you said it.
I feel like because it's Daniel Radcliffe, you just can't say dick. You gotta call it like a member. Do you know what I mean?
That's very respectful of my Wizard Bay. I really love that.
Because I saw him in Equus on Broadway. So it was like professionally out. It wasn't just me like peeping in a shadow or something.
How was the play? Like, what was your review? Do you remember? Give me the review.
Oh, I honestly, truly do not remember anything besides his member. And it was funny though, because I saw it with my mom. You know what I mean? And I just remember being so nervous about. We saw a member together. You know what I mean? And it was like very, I was thrown by that process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A nightmare. I still like get sweaty if I'm with my parents and I'm like, here's a sex scene, cool, gotta die now. Like, that's horrible.
Well, the thing is, to me, the worst part now that is like, we all grown, you know what I'm saying? But the problem is like, still, like, I feel like I still have to pretend I don't know what things are.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to know that I am familiar with certain maneuvers.
Even if you've been with Bae for like so long.
I
you guys
know.
are, like, engaged. Like,
I know. And she like is still not comfortable with us having physical affection.
Oh.
She's like, yeah, I think it's like you're my child. And so even if he has his arm around me, she's like, what are you touching up on you for? And it's like, we are to be wed. Like, okay, this is not, I'm not, you know.
That's really funny. My mom is like super religious, but she has like #layers.
Yeah.
So every now and then she'll like give me a look where he's like, you know he cute. Like she'll give me a look for my boyfriend, but she's like, he cute. Like she knows.
She knows. She's aware.
Like very like, but she's like kind of proud, which is nice.
That's good. That gives you like the confidence to go forward.
Yeah, it's funny because she has a lot of confidence, my mom.
Yeah,
and so when I went through that like period where I was like 12 to 13 or whatever, where I had low self-esteem.
Oh, you only had a year? You're so lucky.
No, I was just trying to be nice. Nice. I'm over it. Done. 15 years free. To be me. This is sexuality for me. Anyway, I just remember that time I was like, I don't know what you said for. I don't know why you got low self-esteem. I know I'm fine. And your daddy was fine. And you came from me, so I don't know what you tripping for. You know you fine. Like, it was like that.
Oh, that is the best.
That rules. It's
you need to get that as a ringtone.
That is my nightmare ringtone.
No, that's like literally like, if I'm like having a low day, just hearing like, could you do that for me, Jess's mom? I just need you to record, just make it and be like, you know you're fine. I need that. And then I'll be like, hello, you know what I mean? Like whoever it is.
You're like in your audition or whatever. You're like at casting for New Girl. It's like, you know you're fine.
I have to take this. Thank you.
If your mom, if I had to get a ringtone and it was from your mom, what do you think it would be?
Are you sure? Just in general, whatever it is, are you sure? Whatever it is, are you sure?
Is she like, is it because she doesn't agree with you, or is she just trying to, keep you safe? Is that what it is?
oh God, so loaded. Is this being recorded?
I
She'll
know,
find me.
it is.
She'll find me. I just think she's always said, like, I'm your mother, my job is to tell you the truth. So that doesn't necessarily have to be nice. You know what I mean? And so, like, she's always just like, she wants to make sure that you're making the right choice. I feel like when I was younger, it was like, don't go out there and embarrass me. And now that I'm an adult, it's more like, are you sure you want to marry him? Just, why not? Why not ask? Why not ask?
I know that, like, we're therapy buddies.
Yes. Not together, but we
don't
talk
go
about
together.
It. Yeah, but we unpack it.
It's nice. As I get older, I find myself reaching for my therapy friends more, like the ones who go to therapy.
Yeah, you
because
got it.
all the other ones are like batshit crazy.
I know. Thank you. Okay, first, like, if you have not gone to therapy, you need to handle your scandal, okay?
Yeah.
That's like first. That's first. Like, if you're a white male who's never gone to therapy,
you are on the red list.
Don't approach me. Don't approach me.
Especially after this election, like, how dare you as a white man not go to therapy?
I swear.
How dare you?
Truly. That's a crime in and of itself.
Truly, it's a hate crime. But I just went to therapy for the first time in a long time a few days ago, and it was pretty crazy because I ran into her in the wild.
Whoa.
And it was very stressful.
Where? Oh my God, that's so scary.
I went to a friend's, like, screening, and I was already, like, a little bit stressed because there was, like, a lot of people, so I was really anxious. Yeah. And then I went into the bathroom, and then she was, like, drying off her hands, and it was like I turned to her, and I was like, and then she turned to me, and she was like, and I was like, hey, how are you? And she was like, I'm fine.
And that's it.
And that was it. Like, we both, like, backed away from each other. I, like, backed into the stall and then, like,
truly step away from the light. You have to step away from the light. It's like when you were a kid, if you, like, saw a teacher out in public, it was kind of like, oh, you do stuff when I'm not around? Yeah. And it's, like, so stressful.
The idea is that it's about me, so I'm in your classroom, and when I leave, you dissipate.
You're gone. You crumble into a pile of dust, and then you rematerialize at 8 a.m. That's how I feel. And, like, a therapist, because you were also, like, at a screening, so it's also, like, I feel like when you saw her at the session, were you like, so what'd you think of the movie? Like,
I did, but I only wanted it to go for, like, half a second. We both didn't want to talk about it.
Yes.
So we were just like, it was great. Yeah, it was great. Okay, let's talk about, like, my deep-seated insecurities.
Right.
Let's unload.
Honey, it's $1 a minute.
Yeah.
Or however long, whatever you do.
Yeah, that is a lot cheaper.
It is.
I was like, yeah, haha.
Jessica, I live a sliding scale life, okay? Sliding scale life.
Hashtag sliding scale life.
Hashtag sliding scale life.
Wait. So I'm back here, and I know what I want to do while I'm here for a few days is I like our theme parks.
Yeah.
I want to go to Halloween Disneyland, and I'm, like, very excited about it.
Ooh.
Have you ever been to Disneyland?
No, I've never been.
Allow me to tell you all about it. I grew up going there quite a bit. For my 4th birthday, my parents surprised me with a trip to Disneyland. It was amazing. Okay. I still remember it. They have a parade that goes through Main Street, and I remember seeing Aladdin, and I loved Aladdin. Like, I wanted him to be my boyfriend when I was little.
Oh my God, of course.
And when he moved towards me, I started crying. I was really freaked out. And so I've been scarred ever since. But Disneyland is great because they do themes. And so, like, when it's Christmas time, they're like, let's bring out the Christmas decorations. When it's Halloween, they're like, we'll bring out the Halloween food. So I'm really excited.
Did you say Halloween food?
Yeah, they have, like, themed food for, the time of year it is. It's amazing.
Like spookatizers.
They don't have...
Like a spooky appetizer. I don't know what it is, though. But I just like the word spookatizer.
Spookatizer feels like something that you would say at a board meeting at Disneyland that everybody would sort of speak over, that you repeat again to make sure somebody heard you. And somebody's like, we heard you. No, we heard you.
I just wanted to throw it out there for the room. Just an initiative of spookatizers.
So anyway, I want to talk about litter in the park.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really fun.
That's gonna be a good scary time.
Have you managed to go to a theme park since?
Well, let me tell you, honey, I went to Halloween Horror Nights. I did.
How was it?
Okay. Well, I found myself most terrified by the roving bands of goth teens. So many goth teens.
It turns very much into an 18 and over club.
It becomes an 18 and over club. A lot of boys, like probably a lot of Fallout boys. Yeah. And they're all just like it's that vibe. And they're all like wearing like sweatshirts with pentagrams. And it was like so many of them. And then it was funny though, because I would go through a maze. And so I don't like frights. I'm very easily frightened. But let me tell you what would get me. So of course you see somebody in a mask, a ghoul coming towards you. But then what would get me would be behind me. Every now and then it would be like a teen girl, like she would scream. So then I would be like, what? And it was just her Fallout boy scaring her. But it was scaring me.
That's the thing about growing up going to those things is that every young man turns into a demon. It's like when you ask your dad to like kill a bug and he kills it and then he goes, whoa.
Exactly.
It's so annoying.
I jumped away even though it was fake.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I felt it.
I had that too when I was like 17, we had grad night, and grad night was at Disneyland. And grad night was this horrible apocalyptic experience where they take a bunch of high schoolers from like all of these schools across Southern California and they lock them all in the Disneyland theme park.
What?
Go with me here. From 10 p.m. to like 7 a.m. So, and between 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., I remember reggaeton was very popular at the time. So they're not doing like the magic of Disney. It's just pure Pitbull, like the loudest Pitbull you've ever heard.
Oh, no.
And all the guys are being ghouls and Fallout Boys and Paramours and like scaring these girls. And I just remember getting on the Haunted Mansion ride, and it's on like a conveyor belt, but people just kept fucking jumping off of the ride to go like make out and make like teenage babies.
Thank you. I was gonna say, this is not a smart idea. A grad, they've got their whole life ahead of them. Let's lock them in a park overnight and let them do it. That sounds like they're now setting you up for success.
That's all it is. So many oopsie babies made that evening.
Oopsie babies. Oh my
But I just remember it being like, I went to the bus at like 4 a.m. because I was like, this is my nightmare.
Oh, you made it till 4. I'm like so impressed.
Thank
I would
you so
have definitely hit it up at like 12:30 a.m. And I'm like, I'm done here. I get the general vibe you're going for and I want nothing of it.
That's what I like about you. I respect how you're not afraid of a blanket. I'm still afraid of like FOMO. I still have FOMO. I'm 28, so I'm still like,
you're active.
What am I gonna miss? There's a whole thing happening here. And then I just stay inside and play The Sims. Oh my gosh, guess what?
Okay,
tomorrow,
what?
I got invited to go to The Sims headquarters tomorrow. And I am so excited. I'm gonna learn about Simlish.
Wow.
This is like so intense. They're gonna make a Sims me. And if they like read me for my body, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
Oh no, they can't. They've got to make you long and live and lean.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
They are. They're gonna make you your truth. That's gonna be so good. I can't wait for that. Do you want to start this magical time?
We got such a good show for y'all tonight.
My God, the best of the best. The best of the best. You guys, our first comic. Oh, she's near and dear to us. You definitely heard her on the podcast.
Yeah, she's a Two Dope Queen's favorite. One of the last few times I saw her, we watched the world burn down when I went over to her house for election night, and it was deeply upsetting. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Michelle Buteau!
Noise! You guys look cute as fuck. Oh my God, Jessica, Naomi, they're so adorable. Naomi's wearing a cute little onesie. I love me a onesie, except for like when I have to use the bathroom and then it's like a ghetto episode of Cirque du Soleil and I'm like, what? And here's a little fashion tip about onesies. Ladies, if you're gonna get a pap smear, don't wear a onesie, okay? You're gonna be the creepy naked girl at the office. Don't ask me how I know. I'm into fashion. It's just like hard to I don't know, dress my lady bits sometimes because they're just so loud. They always have something to say. Like, this is a dress, but fuck it, it's a shirt now. And the thing, I didn't even know buttons were missing, and I put it on, and I was like, hey, and it was just like flashing everybody. So you're welcome, people in the front. I saved you. I want to dress in cool stuff. I try to wear tunics this summer. Tunics, and it was always going between my legs and giving me a fudgy, a front wedgie. I really want to be about that tunic life, but it was just I look like a drug dealer bad at math or something. It wasn't cute. So originally, I was gonna come out here and tell you a short story about this really ugly guy I dated with bad teeth and bad breath that was a coworker back in the day, early 2000s, and I ended up dating him a couple of times because he just paid for everything. And it wasn't like I didn't have standards or have self-worth. I was just hungry, and he loved to pay. And it just tasted better when he paid for it. And I was like, oh my God. And then one night I got super drunk for Cinco de Mayo because it's Cinco de Mayo. And we were hooking up in my sublet, fancy. And I felt myself getting sick, and I ran to the bathroom, and I just got sick. I threw up, and I was like, oh my God, I hope he didn't see. And then when I looked out the door, there was a trail of it, and I saw him wiping his shirt off, and I was like, ah. And I went back, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, no problem. And then he went down on me. And talking about kissing the boo-boo. So the next day he helped me put together my IKEA dresser. And I had to break up with him because I was like, I have no respect for you. But I'm not gonna tell you about that story because I have a husband, I wanna respect him. You know what I mean? I found somebody to die with, it's cool. I just want to witness, someone to find me. Oh, you guys just want to die alone? Cool. But if you guys are single and looking for somebody or boot up or whatever, my biggest thing is just don't settle. You know what I mean? Just, what the red flag is. You don't have to talk about it constantly with everybody. You know what the fuck it is. Yeah, you sound crazy when you keep bringing up the same shit over and over. One time I settled for this dude. He was so cute, so short, sort of like Peter Dinklage, a little bit taller. Just a little chicken nugget with dipping sauces, and treated me like a queen. But his dick was so small, I was like, I can't get with this. Even when it was hard in my mouth, I was like, I've had pieces of chicken bigger in my mouth than his dick right now. But you know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm married, happily married. Gonna respect my man, cause it's love. I'm just and I met my man through a one-night stand, so I feel like it's a lottery. You gotta fuck your way to the right one. Yes. Don't let someone shame you about your sexuality. Sit and spin and have somebody fuck happiness into you. You know what I mean? Life is short. You gotta take chances. You haven't lived unless you sucked a guy's dick in the back of a taxi and got gum stuck on it, is all I'm saying. But I'm not gonna tell you that story because I respect my man. Despacito's a real word. know if your daughter loves gymnastics or just like really wants to be a hoe. Because like aren't splits a gateway to the pole? So I was hanging out with my squirrel friends in a hot tub in like a plus-size bathing suit like I do. Drinking rosé, we talking about sex. This is a very sex-heavy set, y'all. Get into it, okay? Ladies, we working it. Let's get our periods together. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Fuck men right now. I wanna talk about my pussy. So my friend's like, I hate it when a guy comes quick. I was like, bitch, I love it. That means my pussy works. And she's like, what? And she goes, put that on a magnet. I was like, what? I was like, bitch, that's why you single. I'll leave you guys with this. I need to sit down. These tits are so heavy. So I try to change my look. I am so inspired by Phoebe and Jessica. I tried to change my look this summer, and I got braids, and I just, you know, I was like, wow, I have so much face. It was so much cheek. I was like a Puerto Rican Julia Stiles. I was like, yeah, it was a lot. And I looked at myself, and I was like, damn, I don't even look like a Nubian princess. I look like Rachel Dolezal running errands. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how am I appropriating my own fucking culture? And I showed my white husband, and he's like, you know what? It's not an Erykah Badu, it's an Erykah Badone. I was like, bitch! That's my time, everybody. You've been amazing. Just so amazing.
Give it up for Michelle Buteau!
Yes! Wait, Michelle! Come back!
Wait a minute.
Come back.
Okay, I'll come black.
You were amazing, obviously. We love you on this podcast. I'm curious, what do you have going on right now?
I feel like there's something.
We're doing this. Okay, this is like a ghetto, like, Hoda and Kathy Lee right now. I love it. I am very happy to announce that next year I will be working with WNYC.
Yeah!
And I'm going to be putting out my own podcast. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Brown titties.
Brown titties
Brown titties all day, every day.
You got a lot of butt in that lift. That was very impressive. I was like, that's all my butt. Ooh. Yeah, well, that was very exciting. She's just so funny.
I know, too good, too great.
2G. How are you enjoying co-hosting this podcast so far?
Honestly, it feels like home. You know?
That's so
It feels so right.
That's good.
I love it. Highlight of this move to Los Angeles, I'll tell you.
Jeez, okay.
We'll get into that later.
Okay. Well, we are very excited about this show tonight.
Ooh, we got a great guest.
Because we have a very, very special guest.
Yeah, it's happening. You know, this guy. Wow, I mean, don't you think, didn't we we felt intensity, we felt energy.
I was very surprised. I was a little intimidated.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like a white guy, so I was like, I don't feel this way about white men.
Right, but you know what, though? He is Jewish, which is an ally, you know?
Yeah.
And so, it's like I felt that, I was like, wow, but then I was also like,
a push and pull.
A push and pull, you know? He's done so much, you know? I think we could call him probably, the king of podcasts?
King of podcasts.
You know, I'm going to say it. I don't know why not.
An amazing actor.
Actor, writer, comedian.
Comedian extraordinaire.
He's doing it all, you know? He's on an emotional journey. He's taken us all with him. I'm invested in his success, you know?
All behind those iconic spectacles that he wears.
Iconic. You guys, give it up for the man, Marc Maron! Yes, that is accurate. That is accurate dancing.
Hi, Marc, have a seat.
Thank you.
Sit down.
Have a seat.
Where you want to sit in the middle?
How do you want to do it?
Get in the middle.
I'll sit in the
Get in the
middle.
hot seat. Get in the hot seat.
Oh, there's a clock right here timing us down. Let's
Classic.
get on with it.
Okay, so questions. How are you? Thank you for doing this podcast. We
Nice to
appreciate
see
it.
you. I'm fine, thank you.
Nice to see
And you?
I'm well.
Good. Yes.
That was really
Back to
intense.
you.
Okay, I am doing great as well.
Nice. All set. Everybody's good.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. As I said
I'm
earlier,
happy to be here.
How does it feel? This is for Work It Fest. This is like a majority. This group is majority women.
I feel
The Women's Festival.
How does it feel to be surrounded by a bunch of women?
it feels good. It's intimidating. I'm okay.
Yeah. You're holding it together.
Yeah, I'm holding it together. I'm trying to keep it together. Yeah, I work with. I do Glow. I'm in the show.
Yes to glow. Yes to glow.
And I'm about to start work in a couple weeks, right? So it's pretty much me and 13 or 14 women every day. And
Are you synced up with them?
Yeah. It was so weird when it first happened because I'd never had a period.
Right.
But they say it happens. I just didn't think it would happen to me. It's crazy.
Right.
So I'm not now. I'm in the middle of my cycle.
How is it working on the set of Glow? Like, what's that like?
Well, it's good, but like, I have to, I've talked about it before. I think I'm misunderstood. I can't socialize with them.
Why? Why not?
What's going on?
Well, okay, here's what happens. I got to play an asshole, mildly sexist asshole who's damaged, and that makes him endearing. So I'm the damaged sexist that women tolerate. So in order for me to stay in that space, which is a stretch, I mean, I think I have it in me. Why does that get a laugh? I work hard to manage, to be a decent man. So
I know. Therapy.
it's happening right now. Don't you feel it?
Everybody feel it.
I can feel the work.
Here's the deal. So they all sit together. So that's 13 women in a little circle. I can't go in there.
You can go in there.
No,
Mark, you need confidence. Are you kidding?
It's not a matter of confidence. I'm not intimidated.
Okay.
It's just that all the intensity, the energy, the talking, the womenness of it will just shred my concentration and just level me into a sobbing mess of man.
Okay.
And I have to keep my sexist assholeness up.
Right.
I can't get broke down.
Do you find, I know like when I read like Entertainment Weekly or whatever, some actors who play the villain on set, they're like, I had to keep my distance because I didn't want to, get close to any of the other actors. Do you find that you're like keeping your distance so you can stay in character?
Well, I think that's sort of what I'm saying, but I'm very needy. And and I get, I do a lot of scenes with Allison Brie, and we have a very intense dynamic, we get along. I'm not really it's not so much for character. It's just that like a lot of times when you're on set, there's a lot of time. Right. So like I want to, maybe watch The Sopranos the entire season. I want to get some, emails done. I want to, spend too much time on Twitter getting mad about shit. So
there's like so much negative space in acting. Like there's so much room to do other things. I find that my least favorite part of acting is like when they're like cut and you're just staring at the other actor and you have to try and get small talk or something.
Oh yeah, you just look down.
Yeah, it's like,
right.
You're like,
and you want to do it right. You can't get too far out of the moment.
Yeah.
There's no time to go to the food. That's
like
the other thing about
acting. Can I
acting.
just walk to Crafty? And they're like, sorry, you don't have any time to do that. We're just going to turn around.
And then you say like, fuck you, it's my scene, you'll wait.
Oh, never.
Wow.
I'm like too much of a black female to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would get
weird.
like canceled.
Yeah.
Everything I did would get canceled.
Would be
This
all
would get
of it,
canceled.
All of it would be canceled.
Everything would be
before you even
canceled.
left the set.
I know exactly.
Someone would radio someone else.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they'll be like, she carried herself with too much sass, and it would be shut down.
No.
Oh, hush your mouth, Marc Maron.
I wouldn't do it either, but I do eat a lot on set.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the Glow set's like a fucking cruise ship. Like every 2 hours, it's like a bell rings, and you're like, really? Indian food? Great. And you're like, and then 2 hours more, you're like, it's Chinese time? Awesome. And by, week 2, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked. How am I going to fit into these pants that they bought for me?
That's amazing, because I feel like sometimes my experience has been different. You do really low budget things, and like the food is just like a Ritz cracker. You're like, what the fuck is this?
But it's also like they're in like leotards the whole time, which like
Right.
don't give you room for Indian food.
I know.
You know what
like,
I mean?
no, I mean, like, I think Allison Brie, all she ate the entire season last year was like 4 almonds a day.
Handful of nuts.
Handful
oh,
of nuts.
Jesus.
Well, we were just talking about.
Truly, I can't hear about a white woman eating a handful of nuts. I can't hear about it, Marc Maron. It hurts my heart.
We were just talking about a handful of nuts, man.
It hurts my heart.
It's a tough life, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
It's exciting. I'm excited to go back.
Yeah,
and I read the first script, and I'm still an asshole. And like they cut my hair like this. This wasn't a choice. This sort of 80s feather business.
It's working for you, though.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's
I feel
working
like
for
this
you.
is how it looks.
I feel like
for
when
most of
if
the
you
time.
get old and you still have hair, you're doing all right. You know, you're gonna look pretty good no matter what you do with it. As long as it was getting really long and it's really gray, and then I was starting to look a little like that guy's like a sort of sad hippie guy. And but then I cut it, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just an average Joe.
No, this is a nice look. Is this a little bit of turquoise here on your hand?
I got some turquoise happening.
Oh, I love turquoise.
I grew up in New Mexico.
Beautiful. That's like just such a good place for turquoise.
Yeah, you go.
No, really.
Great
Like
place for
it's
turquoise.
I like die every time I go. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
And it's not that expensive.
No,
You
it's
can
good.
just buy
But like,
fucking
what's
turquoise.
crazy is in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
it's like turquoise is like $1 million, like vintage turquoise.
You
You
go
know?
go to New Mexico.
I need to.
And open a turquoise store in
into those.
Brooklyn.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
like
and then I'll
into
just
this.
charge people like, you don't like turquoise?
No, I'm just like into the turquoise conversation.
Well,
You know what I
turquoise
mean?
is
Like,
it's
I
just
you guys
the
got
best.
excited about turquoise, and I was like, I love the energy crackling between the two of you. You know, it's crackling.
Well, I grew up with, it wasn't cool for a while.
Right.
I grew up with it. My parents had it. There's some obnoxious turquoise situations happening. And then after a while, if you grow up in New Mexico, Texans ruin turquoise because they ruin anything they wear too much of. And so then it was kind of like, that's a little much, a little too Western. Ralph Lauren got hold of it in the 70s. So everybody I was like, fuck turquoise. And then all of a sudden, one day you're like, I don't know, maybe it's time to do it again. And I put this on, and I was like, hell yeah. But I'm not getting the big bolo tie yet.
Oh man,
Yeah, no.
I have this really cool friend in Brooklyn. She like cuts men's hair and she wears bolo ties and she looks amazing.
That's the most Brooklyn thing I've
I
ever
know.
heard. She cuts men's hair and wears bolo ties.
And she has like 1 million tattoos and
Yeah.
she looks amazing. But again, it's a whole look.
Sure.
But I really love
I'm glad we
turquoise.
bonded on that.
Me too. It's so special.
You could go there. There's 2 places in Albuquerque, and you go. And I think this ring was like $100 or something.
Oh,
it was,
it's good.
and maybe a little more. I don't know. Even though when you like something, you're like, how much is it? I didn't even hear you. Here's a credit
Yeah.
card. So. What?
No, I love the history of. I just want to talk about turquoise for a second. I love the history of turquoise. Like I love how they were like, well, this is stamped, so it was made by a tribe in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Like, I just love it.
This is a Zuni pattern.
Yeah, I have a lot of Zuni jewelry. And I really love it.
I had
Zuni jewelry.
I had one.
I'm like living. I want to be on a program so I can talk about Zuni jewelry.
And it's like, this is a pattern. And I had one that my dad had given me that was a Zuni ring, but it was too big, and it was cursed because it was his. And
That's not my ring, Dad. And you like throw it back at him.
I'm getting my own Zuni ring. Not going to get one polluted with your bad mojo that ruined my mind. But I was wearing this, and Roger Waters from the band Pink Floyd.
We're aware. We both have white base.
All right.
Yeah.
So he comes to my house to do an interview on the podcast. He's wearing a Zuni ring. I got this on, and there was that moment where like, I don't know. It's pretty fucking weird though, right? And he was like, yup. What does it mean? Don't know. You wanted meaning, but I don't know if there was meaning. It was a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
But, because it's Pink Floyd and it's Roger Waters and I had a ring, he had a ring and he had his a long time and they're Pink Floyd, I want it to be bigger than it was.
I know. I would be like, it means we're friends, and it means we're
Connected.
peers, and we're connected,
Connected.
and we should always
Yeah.
hang out. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah, because I listened to Pink Floyd Animals back in high school when it came out, stoned in my Datsun B210, driving back from Santa Fe at night, just like on the back way behind the mountain, listening to Animals, and there's that moment where you're like, I'm going to turn the headlights off.
Oh.
You were a
That's like
Fallout
very-
boy.
that's-
He was a Fallout boy. You were like a baby Fallout boy. I'm having emotions.
That's
And it was,
very
like,
like
dark and
True
you were having
Detective
feelings.
season 2. Like that's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah,
intense.
yeah.
It is elevating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
wait, can we talk really quickly about...
I have a lot of time, whatever you want to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can we talk about maybe your book? I don't know. I'm curious. Tell me more. Come on.
Oh, the book came out really well.
Good.
Congratulations,
thank you.
man.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
book called?
The book is called Waiting for the Punch, Words to Live By from the WTF podcast. And what we did was, my genius partner and producer, business partner, we're not fucking.
It's important you clarify.
Yeah. Well, I know it's weird, isn't it? I think it is important that I
Yeah,
clarify.
I mean,
No,
it's
now
fine.
I'm offended.
You don't want to make assumptions.
I don't know what the word to use for my girlfriend. I don't say partner, but a lot of people say partner for the one that they're with.
Yeah.
But he's my business partner. It doesn't matter. Brendan has a family. I'm not throwing him under the bus.
I don't know.
All right.
Sounds like you guys are
but
fucking.
that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. We're not.
I had to.
No, it's good. It's good. Okay. It was a 3-1. You hit it. It was good.
Thank you so much. You're like, here, and there you go.
Sounds like you're fucking. You can't even use this. So, anyways, he's a genius. Brendan is a genius. My business partner, Brendan, who produces the show.
Yes.
So he remembers almost every conversation I've had. I don't. And we had this opportunity to put this book together. And what it is we kind of, the themes that sort of recur on the show, like addiction, spirituality, relationships, failure, success, did I say spirituality?
Yes. Yeah.
Growing up. Things like that. They're the chapters. And what Brendan did is he found about 160 different people that I interviewed and was able to isolate segments of conversations that relate to those themes. So you sort of like, I do a little preface to the chapter, and then you can kind of move through like Molly Shannon, Conan O'Brien, President Obama, Paul Scheer, Wanda Sykes. You kind of move through with the topic, and it's kind of mind-blowing because when people talk, it's different than when they write. Because when you write, you're kind of like, no, I'm going to cut and paste that. I'm going to, it's not grammatically right. So there's a lot of control over that.
Yeah.
But when people talk, there's emotion connected to it, and it happens in the immediacy of the moment. So when you read what has been spoken, it kind of hits you different, and it moves you. And all of them strung together, it's sort of powerful. Because I read it, and I'm like, I don't remember having this conversation with this person. I don't remember hardly any of it. And I had that moment reading it, I'm like, this is a pretty good talk I had.
Is there doing the, you've done it obviously for so long and you interview so many people.
You're the old man of podcasting. We were children when we first heard you.
But what I wonder though is obviously what it means to get there and be present with a person, maybe like a stranger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there anything you do to get yourself kind of ready, either
Yeah.
energized or open to have the combo?
Panic. I panic a lot.
Cool.
Here's a lot of, I'll show you what I do. This is not good for the people listening. So I have someone coming over. I don't prepare a lot, but I do a little research, I get a little background. I like to know, where they're from, maybe what they've done, why they're coming to my house. But I don't usually, I'm always nervous. Because when you're talking to famous people or people their work, you have an idea of who they are. But that's not right. They're going to be more than that, and you might be wrong. So a lot of times I'm just sort of like, come on, fight the idea I have of you. That's the journey. But here's what I do before they come. A lot of this. If there's someone in the room, I'll be like, fuck, what am I going to talk to that guy about? I mean, what am I even going to talk about? Then I'll call Brendan up. I'm like, do we know whether or not he talks?
Okay, so you may not know that until minutes before.
How do you know? Because I'm going to be sitting for an hour. And sometimes, it's a long time, an hour.
Does somebody do pre-interviews or anything for you?
No.
Wow,
Who's
cool.
going to do pre-interviews?
I don't know.
Brendan.
'Cause you're Brendan.
Brendan?
Yeah.
No, sometimes, if I don't know, because I've run out of friends to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first year or so, I could book on people I knew or people who I knew somebody and do you know that guy? Could you think you could get him to come over? But now we get pitched people, and I don't always know a lot about them, but I'm open-minded. I want to learn things. So he'll contribute. He'll tell, who did I talk to where he was sort of really, into it and wanted me to get it right. Oh my God! Now I
The
can't
president of the United States, Barack Obama.
That was it. No, we had to really prep that one because I had an hour, and that was a different type of preparation.
Did they come like sweep your garage and stuff and all that?
Oh yeah. What are you kidding me? Like 2 weeks before, like I was in Hawaii. I wasn't gonna let it screw up my vacation. So Brendan flew in from Brooklyn to be at the house when the Secret Service did their initial sweep to figure out, where they could put snipers. And apparently, Brendan was in the garage, and there was a guy on the roof, like he was going like, "Yeah, I think this is good." And Brendan said the roof was buckling, and he's like, "No, it's not. It's not good." Ultimately, the snipers, we had asked my neighbor Dennis if we could put him on his roof. He's retired. He was like, "Great." So.
Fun activity.
I'm excited for the action.
Right, it's fun for Dennis.
But exactly, it was fun, and they gave him a little thing, a patch.
That's sweet.
They gave
That's
him
like when
That's
a kid
really
takes
sweet.
a plane by themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Comes full circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got a little special ops patch. But yeah, there's like 15 Secret Service, a dozen LAPD, and they tented the driveway. They made a carport. They emptied the neighborhood. He flew from the west side to the Rose Bowl, which is 5 minutes from my house, in the helicopter. It's funny because I'm out back, and the Secret Service guy's like, "We'll let you know when he's 20 minutes out." And we saw like Air Force Two, the chopper, and the Ospreys. I'm like, he's about 20 minutes out, I think. Don't you think? And then like he comes up, but like I didn't like that was one of those things where I had an hour. I didn't want him to get in the weeds with politics. I wanted to do what I do with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like there was some preparation involved. It wasn't me walking around going like, "Oh fuck, what am I going to talk to that guy about? What am I going to talk to the president? Why is he coming over?" But I was sort of concerned there. I did have a moment like, what should I wear? The president's coming to my house.
Right. Did you iron the shirt?
But no, that was my choice. I'm
Oh my gosh,
that's
so disrespectful.
No, it's not.
That's
I wore a plaid shirt.
bananas.
It's my house. My house.
It's like in your garage.
My house.
Girl,
That's
that is
like
not your
so-
house anymore. Okay? The moment they put up a carport,
Yeah.
it ain't your house anymore, girl.
But he was casual. No jacket, loose, open tie.
That's hot.
Loose.
Did you see some chest?
That sounds amazing.
No, but he smelled good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah,
smell
what?
like?
Yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
it like
I can't define it.
spicy? Was it woodsy?
Yeah.
I don't
Floral.
know.
A must-
I wear patchouli, and it wasn't that.
Oh, of course. You got like the turquoise and the patchouli.
Oh
That's
my
on
God,
brand.
Yeah,
Like truly, it's
Yeah.
all happening.
I love that.
It's all happening. Patchouli, turquoise.
What
pneumatic.
interview would you say you were most nervous for?
Probably, it's every time. I wasn't that nervous for the president because he came over. He's very it was weird because I'm waiting next to the garage door and there's a ways to the gate and he comes up the tunnel through the gate and I saw the what do you call it, the motorcade come, like cops, and then something stops, and then like all these people start coming up, and I can't see the president. They come through the gate, I'm like, what's happening? And then just out of the middle of the group, I see a hand go up, Marc, and it's,
Oh,
That's
and I'm like,
sweet.
like-
Mr. President! And he walks up, he's like, is this gonna be fun? And I'm like, I don't know. I hope so.
did you give him your surliest?
No, but like honestly, there was stuff we had to cover. It was 2 days after that horrible shooting in
Which
Charleston
one? Yeah.
with Dylan Roof, right? So we didn't even know if it was going to happen. So he was angry, and he came in. He was when he walked up, I think he was going to put on his best face to do what I do in there. But we got into it, and he got into it, and it got very serious for the first 5 minutes. So we had to talk a little bit about a Supreme Court ruling coming down the following week. But then, he started taking shots at me. Like, he kind of took shots at me right away. Like
He was like dragging you a little bit?
Oh, dude, he walked into my garage. He's like, a lot of pictures of you in here. Isn't that kind of narcissistic?
That is so dope! That is dope! Yo, I'm
Yes.
low-key kind of glad he dragged you a little bit. Did he
That's
call you
what-
out for the wrinkled shirt?
No, he was okay with the shirt. I think we got along pretty well. Like I was, you know what was weird is that like I must have been comfortable because I was finishing his sentences for him. Like I don't have, like I knew I had an hour, and there, and he's very thoughtful and not, I'm not going to say long-winded, but it can go on a minute, so.
This one got somewhere to be. This one over here. Okay, can you hurry?
I just wanted to get it all in. And but we, I was calling him man. It was loose. He was cool. Yeah. He went to school down the street at Occidental, so he brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
that's amazing.
But he's a very grounded guy, and a very smart guy. They didn't vet the questions. We had final edit. They, that is an administration. They're like, he can take care of himself.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing our show.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
So
everybody
good.
give it up for Marc Maron!
Oh, Marc. Love it.
So
you gotta
sweet.
watch his Netflix special too, guys. His Netflix special really spoke to me. I watched it with my Jew boo. That's my Jewish boo. We watched it. We cuddled up. He talked a lot about his own mama drama.
Hi, Andy.
And anyways, you guys should do that. Woo! I feel close to him.
I feel close to Barack. I was honestly, I was nostalgic. I was hot for Barack. He could have said anything, and I would have been like, oh my God.
There's just something. I just love the idea of just hi, Marc.
Yeah.
That's
him. That's
yeah,
him.
it's just hey, he's everyone's pal.
God, I love him.
Truly, truly. They had 25 magical years. I think, was it yesterday?
Yeah,
their anniversary?
It was iconic. I saw everything on social media.
25
Him and
magical
Michelle,
years.
#Black Love. We don't have it.
No, we'll get it. We have it with each other. It's fine.
Yeah.
Black love.
Anyway, you guys ready for our next comic?
Yes. This next guy is hilarious. He's got a new show coming out on Comedy Central in January called Corporate, okay? So mark that down. Just all of January, hold it down, okay? You want to be at home watching Comedy Central. You guys, give it up for the hilarious Matt Ingebretson!
Hi. Round of applause. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, God damn it. Round of applause if you have anxiety. Oh. Round of applause if you smoke weed to deal with anxiety. Round of applause if smoking weed causes you way more anxiety. What is going on with weed? I've had to change my relationship to weed over the years. I've learned some things. I can smoke weed, but I cannot eat weed. I learned that my friend gave me a ride to the airport once, and he had a weed brownie in his car, and he was like, "You want to eat this weed brownie?" And then I ate the whole weed brownie. And then it was in the terminal starting to kick in, and I was feeling good. And then as I was boarding the plane, I started to overtake me, and I was trying to hold it together. And then I sat down, and the woman next to me was reading a book called Catholics Mean Business, and I freaked out. Full-on panic attack. I had a nice day today. I had a really nice day. I cried today. Thank you. Felt really good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm emotionally open enough to cry now, and it feels really good. My dad never told me not to cry, but he did tell me that pain was a construct that I created in my brain that I could choose to ignore, so that's what I got. I typically don't cry at stuff in my real life, though. It's usually inspirational YouTube videos that get me going. I was watching videos the other day of people getting cochlear implants put in and just weeping. I like watching videos of soldiers coming home and seeing their dogs for the first time in years. The other day I was watching Larry Bird highlights, and that really, I don't know what that was. The thing that makes me cry harder than anything else, though, is seeing another man cry, because that's the only way men have ever really been like held down is like emotional repression at a young age. So like crying with another man is a really intense experience for me. Like when LeBron James won the championship a couple years ago and cried in the interview afterward, I was right there fucking with him. I would rather cry with another man than have sex with a woman any day of the week. If there was an app that could geo-navigate me to other men in the area that I could watch the first 10 minutes of Up with and just let it all out, I would sign up in a heartbeat. It'd be called Grindr, and come. This is a very nice theater. I don't always get to perform in Gothic castles. I'm 6'4", so this theater is about the right height for me, I think. I was performing recently in a venue with very low ceilings, and the ceilings were like here, and there was a spotlight on the way to the stage hanging about there, and on my way to stage, I just walked right into the spotlight, and it cut my forehead open. I bled all over myself. And I happened to be recording audio at the time. Do you guys want to hear the audio of that happening? Okay. This is me walking into a spotlight. That's it. Really traumatizing experience for me. It was hard to relive it just then. You want one more time? All right, be. All right, got to be quiet. Quiet for a little longer this time. This is me walking into a spotlight. That's it. I was recently in a Whole Foods, not to brag. I was in a Whole Foods and I was in the yogurt aisle, and not to brag, and when I was in the yogurt aisle, I overheard a couple arguing over how fast they go through yogurt. And for just a brief moment, if I closed my eyes, it felt like Obama was president again. You guys know? That makes sense to you? When you could talk about things like that? Who's single here tonight? Huh? Round of applause if you're single here tonight. Losers, bunch of undateable losers. Round of applause if you're in a relationship, huh? Round of applause if you're in a committed relationship. I give it 3 months before those crumble to the ground. I'm in a relationship, and we met on Tinder, which is not a very fun meeting story. My parents have a way better meeting story. My parents grew up in a town of 500 people in Iowa, and they have a really cute story of how they met, which is that they looked around and there was no one else. And they got married for 35 years. My parents, I worry about the generation that I'm a part of being so different from my. It's good in a lot of ways, but I worry about it being like just part of this self-obsessed generation of people who are always on the internet. Like I think about like when my dad was my age, he had a career as a chemical engineer and had married and had 2 kids with my mom. And I am a fucking stand-up comedian. And I have not even made it to second base with my mom yet. And so I don't know what I gotta do. There's still time. Thanks, buddy. I lost my virginity in college. Thank you, not to brag. I don't know. Lost my virginity in college on a Halloween night while watching a movie. And I've learned since then that there is no good movie to have on in the background of sex. There's always going to be some weird stray dialogue that comes in at bad moments. I lost my virginity on Halloween night while watching the movie Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus, if you're unfamiliar, which it doesn't seem like, it seems like all of you live and die by that movie. Seems like that's your religion is Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is a movie about 3 witches starring Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy in the role of a lifetime. And a lot of guys come too quickly the first time they have sex. I lasted 45 minutes out of pure stress and anxiety. I ended up coming when Bette Midler was singing a Broadway version of I Put a Spell on You. It was a really weird night for me. My girlfriend and I are coming up on 3 years. Thank you. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary by going to Joshua Tree and doing mushrooms, which was fun. It was tough to top our 1-year anniversary where we went to Big Bear and did mushrooms. We have a fun little tradition going. First year we did mushrooms, we did something that neither of us had ever done before. We had sex while we were on mushrooms. We had sex for an hour and a half on psychedelic mushrooms. And I lost my erection 10 minutes into that. And neither of us had an orgasm. But it was the most fulfilling sexual experience I've ever had in my entire life. I highly recommend it. And if you have erectile dysfunction, by the way, don't take Viagra, just eat mushrooms. You will not get an erection, but you will learn to see the inner beauty in your flaccid penis, which I think is more important. Guys, that is going to do it for me. Thank you very much. And give it up for your host tonight.
Give it up for Matt Ingebrigtsen!
That's good. That was good.
Yeah, it was funny. Have you done shrooms?
Oh, no. I'm really scared of them.
No, that's a chill one. Like, I'm somebody who can't smoke weed because I hear, like, dogs that don't exist, and I know I'm gonna die. But shrooms, I was like, oh, this is very steady. Like, this is very mellow. I felt in control. And you know I loves my control.
I feel like my pessimism makes me feel like if I were to do a drug, I would like be the person to OD immediately. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think I'll be able to do it. Like I'm just very scared of them. I always assume whatever the worst thing that can happen is what's gonna happen immediately. So I just don't do it.
I will say certain drugs are so bananas that the worst possible thing that could happen is like so off the charts that it's like don't dabble. Like the idea that there's a possibility that you can bite somebody's face off if you do bath salts is
Right.
beyond,
do
it's
it.
bananas that like a drug dealer's still like, I got bath salts, you want bath, like that's insane.
Yeah. Like, do you remember angel dust, right?
No.
You're younger than me, but I remember hearing about angel dust. And being so scared, I said never again. I said never.
Never again do you want to hear about it?
Yes. Yes, correct. You want to bring out...
Our final
Oh,
comment.
my God. Have you guys been having fun? Have you been having fun on this journey? Excellent. You guys, this lady, she's great. She's out here in LA, okay?
She's funny.
She's fresh. She's funky.
She dresses really cute.
I'm into the vibe. She was just at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, okay, where she sold it out. Okay, that's what she did, okay? So why don't you guys start clapping, get amped for Miss Sarah Schaefer!
Hello. Hey, are y'all okay? Ooh, it's been a year. 2017, good God. Who here is just ready for it to be over? I'm not talking about the year. I'm talking about all of it. Who here is just ready for it to be over? I'm done. Bring the end of the world, okay? I don't want to fight. Take me in the first wave. Mama's tired. I don't want to survive. I don't want to forage. I don't want to go on a supply run. I don't have the core strength to rebuild society, okay? I've thought this through. I don't want to even have to repopulate the earth because I'm the only woman left in my group of very attractive younger men and I have to have sex with all of them and it's not slutty, it's noble. Like, I don't even want that anymore. It doesn't even do it for me like it used to. I'm done. I'm done. I miss truth. I miss truth. Meaning. Oh, you know what else I miss? I miss how good it felt to point out hypocrisy, and it meant something. Now it's just like pushing water uphill with a rake. That's over. There are a lot of reasons it's complicated, obviously, but one of the reasons one of the causes I think of the sort of decay of truth and meaning is this trend in home decor. Some of you probably already guessed what I'm going to say. And what it is it's this thing that people love putting up in their house, which is inspirational quotes on rustic pieces of driftwood in multiple fonts. Okay? Now, some of you, I'm gonna guess you're at a women's podcasting festival. Some of you probably have that shit up in your house right now. And usually the quote will feature a word from a list of keywords like journey, faith, hope, live, laugh. Thank you. Oftentimes those are featured as a triptych. Sister, dance. It'll be a quote like, why walk when you can dance? And it'll be in like Times New Roman and Lucida handwriting and Garamond. Because I'm not gonna be limited to one font, you asshole. I'm whimsical as fuck. Now look, if you have to have look, whenever I see somebody with a sign up in their house that reminds them to laugh, I'm like, are you okay? It's like they see it and they're like, oh, I almost forgot. I like, talk to someone. You're not okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my God, she left out one of the words. No, I didn't. There's a whole section on it. Calm down. And that word is believe. It's so powerful and so potent. Believe is the king emperor of all the words that go on rustic pieces of driftwood in multiple fonts. Because that word can live by itself on a piece of driftwood. Some people don't even put it on wood. They just paint it on the wall directly above their bed. Some people tattoo it on their ankle, and that's a choice. But whenever I see somebody with the word believe up in their house, and maybe this is just me, I'm always like, could you be more specific? Because the act of believing is not a personality trait. You actually have to choose the thing that you believe in, and I need to know. I need to know what it is. What is it that you believe? And what are we talking here? Because it could be a whole range of things. Are you saying you believe in yourself, or you believe in the supremacy of the white race? Because I really need that information before we can move forward. All right? And while we're at it, can we just keep calm and stop making those fucking posters? If you don't know, it's keep calm and carry on. It was a British thing, but like everything else, Americans ruined it. We went ape shit with it. I saw one the other day that was like, keep calm and pizza. Like, that's not a fucking verb. Now, these platitudes, these cliches, I get it. I mean, I'm making fun, but I understand why we need them, because sometimes, especially in person-to-person interactions, we need to fall back on that stuff, because sometimes the truth is way too fucked up to actually say, right? Like, for instance, I experienced this really, a lot of it firsthand at my mom's funeral, and yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up to lighten the mood a little, just to end the show on a high note. My mom's dead. But in order for you to understand what happened at her funeral, you have to know a couple things about her. First, her name was Billy Schaefer. And second, any Billy heads in the audience? Okay, we need to have a conversation afterwards. Her name was Billy Schaefer, and she was an incredible woman. And I know that everybody's mom is an incredible woman, but my mom was better than your mom. She really was. She spent her whole life dedicating herself to helping those in need. She went to Rwanda during the genocide. She let a homeless man live with us one time, which might have been questionable because we were teens and like he was a fugitive. She did her best. But she also had this uncanny ability to make every single person feel like they were the most important person in the world, which is a really special gift. But what that meant at her funeral was that I had dozens of women that I'd never heard of before, never seen once, didn't know who they were, coming up to me saying shit like this. I saw a yellow butterfly on my minivan this morning. It was your mom. Thank you. If you see her again, could you trap her in a jar and maybe bring her to me? Because I would like to speak to her. I was washing my dishes this morning, and just then a red robin perched upon the windowsill. Thank you. What time? Because she was on a minivan around that same time. You know what? Don't worry about it. And all these are real, but I need you to understand this last one is something someone literally said to me after my mom's funeral. The dead speak to me. And last night I heard a voice. Now please tell me this rings a bell, Sarah. It said something about there not being any more pain. She literally made that gesture. I was like, Mom? That's so specific. It checks out, she's dead. Look, if you're gonna be a shitty medium, a small, if you will, at least pay attention during the 2-hour funeral service you just sat through and pick up on one detail about the woman's life. Don't come at me with literally the most generic thing about being dead. There not being any more pain is the dead person message equivalent of I like the Beatles. Like, yeah, we know, get in fucking line. I'm almost done here, but look, if my mom really wanted to communicate to me through Mary Jo, don't you think my mom would have picked something really specific that only she and I would know so that I would know it was real? Like if Mary Jo had come to me with like, last night I heard of this one word over and over again, Sarah, please tell me it rings a bell because I don't know what it means. It just kept saying nutrageous. I would have been like, Okay, so to explain, there was a candy bar. Y'all remember it was called Nutrageous? Right. It was a play on the word outrageous. You get it. My mom didn't get it. She thought it was pronounced nutrageous. And we thought that was the most adorable, outrageous thing we'd ever heard in our lives. I literally am on the zero. It says 0 seconds left, and I think Wnyc wants me to leave. But look, I'd love to talk. No, I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. No. Oh, they said I could keep going. I was born in 19... No, just real quick. I just want to tell you this one last part. I basically at this point at the funeral, I'd had it. I was like, why? Why would my mom visit all of you basic bitches in the suburbs of Virginia before visiting her own children. That is fucking insane. Get away from me with that shit, Bethany Sue. I don't want to hear it. So at this point, I back off. I'm like, you know what? I need a break. I'm going to go sit in the corner, get away from the fray. I'm going to sit down next to my Aunt Anne. Now, in order to understand this last part, you need to know that my Aunt Anne is mentally disabled, and she has this beautiful spirit, and I knew she'd bring me some peace. So I sit down next to her, and we're quiet for a minute, and then out of nowhere, Aunt Anne says, Billy's gone to heaven, and she's never coming back. Billy's gone to heaven and she's never coming back. Billy's gone to heaven and she's never coming back. Billy's gone to heaven and she's never coming back. And I'm like, this kind of has a rhythm to it. Should I get a banjo out? It's like, Billy's gone to heaven and she's never coming back. Sounds good. So I'm like, could this day get any more fucked up? That is not what I expected. But then, I'm serious, a wave of relief washed over me right then. And I looked at Aunt Anne and I was like, thank you. That's the most honest anybody has been able to be with me today. That's real. That's true. Put that shit on a piece of driftwood. Now, I was like, oh, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can just let go and accept it and not think about my mom visiting me as a damn forest creature, you know? But of course, obviously the relief was momentary. And many, many times, I mean, countless times over the years, I have just yearned to feel her presence. You know, anything. I'll just be like, Mom, please, make your presence known, please. And then I'll think about what that would really be like. And I'm like, wait. Mom, if you're gonna visit, let's just lay down some ground rules first. First off, no footsteps. Don't open any cupboards. Don't be all invisible in a rocking chair. If you're gonna be invisible, sit in a regular chair. If I'm washing my face in the sink and I come up, like, don't be in the mirror behind me. It's like, ah! And Mom, whatever you do not get inside one of my old dolls and turn its head when I come in the room, just like, guys, thank you so much. Thank you.
Give it up for Sarah Schaefer!
Yes!
All right, everybody, keep it going for our lovely producer, Miss Joanna Salataro! Arguably the third dope queen.
Yeah.
Aside from you, so fourth.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody. Who's here? Who's in the Work It festival? Who's here? Yeah!
Yes.
Lady producers, everybody else, welcome as well.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you so much. So we just need to do a quick, some quick housework basically for the show. And so first off, we're gonna do the uncomfortable thing, which is what I need to collect is room tone, which means I need the entire theater to be totally
Quiet coyotes.
I hear you guys laughing, but I need you to be completely quiet for about 30 seconds, and if you make noise, we have to start over. So, you're supposed to be quiet. So starting now. We're fine, thank you.
The come on now was like very intense.
Yeah. Okay, so now we need to collect some laughter from you guys.
Please.
And I know it's really, yeah, please. I know it's really tempting to make it into a joke, but again, if you like do a Beavis and Butthead laugh on purpose, we have to like redo it. So please just bear with us because we want to get everyone home fast. So first off, I need like a low-level chuckle. Great. The trick of that is it has to go completely into silence. So good job. No, everyone did great. It was perfect. Okay, and now a little bit more laughter. You heard something that was like just a little bit funnier. That was good. Thank you. Okay, and now I need you guys to laugh like really hard. That was great. And then the final thing that I need you to do is that we need to collect some applause. And the most important thing is that the applause needs to like come out of silence and then go into complete silence. So like if you yell at the end or anything, like then we have to redo it. So do you wanna lead us?
No, I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I'll do it.
I think you can do it, Jessica.
Oh, Phoebe normally does this part. Okay, I'll try. I'll try. Everybody, listen to my hands. When they go down, you're like, what? This is quiet. And then when they get up, you're like, damn, this is loud. You clap real loud. And then when they go back down, you're like, what? It's quiet.
Yeah. And just nice and slow. That's my advice. Okay.
Ready, everybody?
Too fast. We have to do it again.
Really?
Yes.
All right, I got it. Let's go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay.
That was incredible. Wow. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you so much, everybody.
Everybody give it up for Joanna Solotaroff.
Yes.
Keep it going for everybody you heard tonight.
Michelle Buteau, Matt Ingebretson, Sarah Schaefer, Mr. Marc Maron.
Our beautiful co-host, Miss Naomi Ekperigin.
So much. Jessica Williams, come on.
We're Two Dope Queens. Thank you so much and get home safe.